Moron. Namaste. Hur morni? Moni bra? Yeah? Mycket bra. Very good. Big namaste and a warm welcome to all of you to the 12th edition of India-Sweden Innovation Day. My name is Sanjoo Malhotra from India Unlimited, and I'll be coming in and out of the stage to introduce the new moderators and keep the program together for the day. But without further ado, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, let me acknowledge the distinguished leaders joining us for this inauguration. And I'll also request you to please also come to the stage. First, I would like to say His Excellency Shri Nitin Gadkari, Union Minister of Road Transport Highways, Government of India. He'll be joining us virtually from New Delhi this morning. His Excellency Anurag Bhushan, Ambassador of India to Sweden. Sir, please, would warmly welcome you to come to the stage. His Excellency Thesleff, Ambassador of Sweden to India, also joining us virtually. Mr. Martin Lundstedt, President and CEO of Volvo Group, member of the India-Sweden Business Leaders Roundtable. Warm welcome, sir. Sukhia, Secretary General and CEO of Sweden-India Business Council. Warm welcome. We are deeply grateful for your leadership and commitment to strengthening the India-Sweden Innovation Partnership. So it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 12th edition of the India-Sweden Innovation Day. Remembering 12 years ago, our theme was Reimagining India 2025. And now we are here. 2025 has come. So back then, there was a spirit of optimism and imagination as we looked forward to this very year. And today in 2025, we can proudly say that optimism has been translated into real partnerships, real business, and real progress. So over these 12 years, we've seen a timeline of remarkable milestones that have shaped the India-Sweden innovation journey. The India-Sweden Innovation Accelerator, launched by the Swedish Energy Agency, opening doors for clean tech collaboration. The India-Sweden Business Leaders Roundtable, launched by Sweden-India Business Council, which brought industry captains from both countries together. The India-Sweden Innovation Partnership, launched by the two Prime Ministers, setting a new strategic framework for collaboration. The Sweden-India Innovation Bridge, also initiated by Sweden-India Business Council, connecting entrepreneurs, startups, investors across both ecosystems. And the creation, of course, of Industry Transition Platform and the Global Lead IT initiative by the two Prime Ministers, which today plays a crucial role in industrial decarbonization, with Sweden and India leading on this globally. I think it's fantastic. Each of these initiatives has deepened collaboration between our countries, and many of them will be reflected in today's program. This year's theme, co-creating a sustainable future, scaling innovation through partnership, reflects both how we have come, how far we have come, and the urgency of what lies ahead. Today is not just a day about dialogue, but also about scaling solutions together. And new initiatives are also emerging, like the India-Sweden Water Initiative that will mark the next chapter, and also sunrise opportunities that will come from the EU-India Free Trade Agreement. This platform has always been about bridging the public and private sectors, aligning business and policy, and creating shared pathways towards net zero and inclusive growth, specifically also in this new era that we are entering. Anyway, with more optimism and optimation, we came up with this word, Ambassador, 12 years ago, called optimation and determination. And it was the word we coined was optimation. So with that, again, with the same optimation, I'd now like to invite Mr. Sukhia, Secretary General and CEO of Sweden-India Business Council, who also helped create India Unlimited, along with the Embassy of India, to share his welcome remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjoo. 12 years ago, huh? That's quite a while. And I think we should actually first give a warm round of applause to Sanjoo Malhotra and his team for actually creating this board. Very well done. Very well done. Ronja, Kartik, all the team and Anis around here. You know, there's so much going on between Sweden and India. It's an array of projects and innovation happening between the countries. I think many times you see countries saying we're going to put this amount of billions into countries in terms of investments, in terms of engagement, everything, but Sweden has done a little bit differently. We do wide and we do deep. So what we have done is which is one of the reasons I think we made this into an innovation day instead of what it was before, is to showcase on an operational level as well, to see what is actually happening between the countries. And I think everyone who's here, if you're new here, you'll see that this is actually something that has been going on for quite a while, and you can see the depth of it as well. But moving forward, there is something which is really important today, and that is in order for Sweden, for example, or for Sweden to actually remain a strong innovation hub as we are, always number 1, 2, 3, you know, in the world for innovation. In order for us to be this strong, we need talent. And there's only one place in my mind we can get the talent from, and that is India. At the same time, you know, the level of investments on innovation and R&D in India is quite low. That needs to come up as well. There is lots of investment that can be done from Sweden into India there. And we need the talent, again, coming back to the people, we need that as an integrated part of our solution between Sweden and India. We need a lot more engineers coming to Sweden, but we need a lot more investments into technology, into innovation, R&D in India as well. And work with the Indian companies, work with government, work with institutions in order to move forward on that. We had, I'll just share very briefly on a very inspiring delegation that came to Sweden, because seeing is believing. You can talk about it as much as you want, but unless you are on site, either Indians in Sweden or Swedes in India, it's the same thing. We need to see in order to get inspired and being able to come up with these technology solutions and things to move forward. And we had a delegation from ACMA, the Auto Component Manufacturing Association of India, and their Young Business Leaders Forum. And that's a group of 20 to 40-year-old owners and second and third generation owners of those companies. And as you know, the auto component company in India is extremely strong, and they're very, very good. It's the quality, I think, one of the few industries there you can actually produce something from A to Z, complete with high quality. This group came to Sweden, and we took them to Gothenburg to introduce them to the eco-innovation system there. They were blown away, because everything is 15 minutes away. That was the first thing, of course, having closely, no traffic and all that. But also seeing the innovation is something they had not done before, because they all go, when you go on a delegation, usually I need to meet clients, I need to meet sourcing, I need to do that. Not raise your head and see, what can I do next? What an innovation can I do? Which institutions, which people, which academia, what can I do in order to do this? So in order to do that, it's not only for the Indians who come here to see what we can learn from that, but also for us to go to India. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that we can actually do in India. AI, for example, we are a lot deeper, I think, in that in Sweden, but we take too long to take our products to market. India has a problem today, and a lot of problems, of course, to do that, but they solve it today with the solution at hand. And a lot of AI solutions are coming up today, and they're being put into place, whether it's life science or in any other, in the fintech industry, for example, logistics, it's happening today. And that is something I think we can learn a lot from. Doing it now, doing it quicker, coming out. Volume, cost, you can still make money, and that's something we can learn from India. So I think today, let's reach out to each other, talk to each other, and also get inspired to see how we can actually move forward in the different areas, because people inspire people, and you're all here for that reason. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin. And I would now like to warmly welcome Mr. Martin Lundstedt, to please, President and CEO of Volvo Group, to please address.
Thank you. I'm of the age now, so I cannot see with or without glasses, so I do it without glasses. Excellencies, Ambassador, and also, of course, Honorable Minister Gadkari, that is will be with us later, virtual, a very good friend. We have been working for many years together in different type of capacities. I will just see here, as a former wanted to be rock star. Now I think we are ready. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, and first and foremost, friends. Between Volvo and India is a true love affair. I will come back to that. But I think also between Sweden and India, it is friendship that is on the verge to be a true love affair, and that is important. Actually, last week I think it was on Thursday, Kamal, who is our group president for India, we had a dinner together with some of our key leaders, Hegre and Manoy and Kamal and myself and some other colleagues also from Sweden, and we were having a small dinner and talking about frontiers. A company is about, frontiers at the end of the day. We talked about, how it started for Volvo back in 1924, to entrepreneurs starting, and then the official inauguration was actually 14th of April 27. That is another story that I will not have time for now. But after that, it has been exploring frontier after frontier. And one of the key frontiers for Volvo, and that was the discussion, was actually the development of our love affair with India. Today we are 5,000 colleagues in India, a global hub for many of our key innovation centers, but including also our highly productive and successful joint venture together with the iShare Group. We are almost 20,000 people. And that's spanning also from all different fields, which I think is very, very motivating, obviously. And if you think about it, why does it work? Specifically joint ventures, because joint ventures can be, if I put it like that, interesting. But the thing is, it has almost been working for 20 years. And what I've learned in history is that, I've been part of so many different business flows and mergers and acquisitions, etc. It doesn't matter if you have a 100% equity stake, if you have 80, if you have 50, if you have 30, if you have 20, even if you have 0. That is not the decisive factors if things are working or not. The decisive factor is mutual trust and benefit and win-win situation and respect. And the funny thing is that is also the definition of friendship. Friendship is actually based on a mutual social relation that is open, transparent, built over time, and especially also built on a relation where when it's stormy waters, it's getting stronger than when the wind is not blowing and it's only sunny weather. And we know that we are living in very turbulent times now for different reasons in the economic cycle. We have had the aftermath of a pandemic. We are still calibrating the world, obviously. And in an era of that, the friendship between Sweden and India is continued to grow even stronger. And that's the reason why the Sweden-India Innovation Day plays such a very important role. And that's the reason why we also appreciate that year after year you are driving this with the leadership together with the whole team here. Then I have to say that when we look into now what is about to come here, and why is it so interesting for everyone to participate? Robin was into it, obviously. We have complementary skills, and we see it in particular. We are, I remember one of our former prime ministers in Sweden said that, I will not quote who, but he said, if I should have been humble, I should have been perfect. But Sweden, to be frank, and that is a fact, has a very strong innovation power. We are a small market. We need to work multilateral in a global market. We are one of the world's most export but also import dependent countries in the world. Specialization has been very, very important to us. And that's the reason also why we have innovation power in the number of key sectors. But also India, the elephant is finally moving. I think it has been a land of hope for many years, but the elephant is on the move and it's moving quick. in different domains, obviously. The whole digital landscape is obvious. We see it in research and development in all different fields as well. We see it when it comes to the finance community with a number of key innovations. We have seen the leapfrog of telecommunications and how now also gradually, since it leapfrogged from agriculture into services and missed the physical world to a big extent, it is also catched up now by very decisive actions that I think is super promising. And of course that is very good also for the group here. And talent, obviously. And that's the reason why, again, we see that there is so great complementary opportunities. As I said, biggest R&D and digital site outside Sweden today and growing faster than any other sites. But also that India is moving from being a regional player, and in itself, you know it, all of you that have been traveling India a lot, India is a region. It is a country for sure, but it's also a region in itself, but also the regional power in that part of the world. But now, of course, it will play a role. In Volvo, we call it India for India when we are looking at our strategy, but we are also saying India for the world. We have some of our global competence hubs, as I said, but also some of our global manufacturing hubs now. And we are just about to announce also the 4th global industrial hub that is end-to-end will actually be invested in India, even if we have part of that footprint already installed. And on top of that, 3rd biggest ecosystem when it comes to startups. We have our Camp X concept where we are hosting a lot of startups together with our engineers and other colleagues. Also now in Bangalore, very successful, and we are getting in touch with quite a lot of, very many I should say, also great Indian ideas here. Then it's about the existential questions, guys. We need to continue to drive a sustainable agenda together. There are hiccups now. But I can tell you that we are standing firm behind that for several reasons. One key reason, of course, that we need to hand over this beautiful planet to coming generations in good shape. That is our responsibility. But also it's about competitiveness. Because this is driven by competitiveness for the group together with also a sustainable development of transport and infrastructure and logistics. Not at least heavy-duty transport. And we see that it's also connected to some of the key other domains of innovation now, such as the energy transition, that is huge. And of course also when it comes to the digital ecosystem and digital intelligence. And that's the reason why we are in different shapes and forms on the ground, both in Sweden and in India, investing in this type of changes as we move along now. I cannot go into all the details, but it's about autonomous, it's about connectivity, it is about AI, it is about all the different type of propulsion systems. And in that area, and here we can do it together. You cannot do it alone anymore. Because to move from a fossil-based, non-sustainable over time platform into a green platform, you need to do it in an ecosystem approach. And we again have very important complementary skills. It is about infrastructure, it is about charging capacity, it's about grid, it is about vehicles, it is about the energy transition at large and at scale. And that's the reason why we have been part of the Lead It initiative out of Stockholm Environmental Institute also. We are very, very happy for that. That is the lead group of industry transition, and it's about partnering, and it has been presented by the 2 prime ministers of Sweden and India. And super important that we continue now to drive this. Because, as I said, it will go hand in hand with social development, with ecological development, and with competitiveness. So if we do it together, we don't need to sacrifice anything. So I've already overdue, I don't know that, so I will end here by saying that for us, it is a true love affair. We have been extremely motivated and engaged in the development that we have seen over the last many years that we have been here. But we also see how the relation is accelerating for the group, but also for the relation between Sweden and India. And on a final note, I have to say, when I looked at this, you know, India-Sweden Innovation Day, and now I do a 30-second, you know, advertisement why heavy trucks, buses, excavators, marine engines, financial services, you know, logistics and infrastructure is the coolest thing. Because if you look at this and say India-Sweden Innovation Day and the different subgroups here that we should address, Sweden-India tech community, Camp X tick in the box, smart cities, absolutely. We need to have smart transportation. India-Sweden innovation accelerators. Again, I mean, the whole startup scene that we're working, partnerships that we've been into, mobility and road safety, cities and other things. And I think if you close your eyes and think about the brand, about safety, AI and digitalization comes without saying, energy transition, circular economy, startup pitches, industry 4.0. Now we are accelerating, making India in Volvo also. Sustainability, we have talked about. Travel, yes, buses and others. Making India, for sure. Guys, join the movement. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. And now, with great pleasure, we would like to welcome His Excellency Anurag Bhushan, Ambassador to India in Sweden. Please give him a big round of applause. Yes.
Oops. Thank you, Sanjoo. It's very great pleasure that I'm here in front of all of you. Many of you I know very well. Many of you I met a few times. Many of you are strangers to me. But it has been only 3 months since I have joined as ambassador to India in Sweden. And already it is a wonderful journey. And as I can see it, I may have less experience, but with fresh eyes, I can always see, already see a lot of new perspectives that are emerging in our partnership. And therefore, I thank Sanjoo for organizing this wonderful event. I start with acknowledging our Minister Gadkari, who is going to join virtually, and State Secretary Sarah Modik, who's going to join us shortly, and also my friend, dear colleague, and ambassador of Sweden to India, Jan Thesleff, who's also going to join virtually. I also look at some of my friends from Swedish ministry, some excellencies, my past colleagues in Swedish foreign ministries. There's some innovators I see, a lot of business leaders, friends of India. I see some from academia. And there are some fellow Indians who have traveled all the way from India to Stockholm and who have also joined virtually. Thank you very much to all of you. Your presence is very valuable and we really value it. Friends, when I came here, I was told of 2 things. One was that India-Sweden Innovation Day is the highlight of our bilateral engagement. And certainly, it's a very path-breaking initiative. The second thing I was told was, never speak after Robin Sukhia, because once he speaks, there's not much that you can add to it thereafter. So, but here I am, never been able to avoid speaking after him. And so I have to navigate through the next 5-6 minutes, trying to add some value and some wisdom to the words that Robin has already spoken. I start by commending the organizers, that includes myself as well, for the topic that we have decided on green mobility. I think this is certainly one of the most pertinent issues that humanity needs addressing in terms of logistics, in terms of taking people from point A to point B. And it's never more important than India, where you have 1.5 billion people currently at $3,000, growing rapidly at about 7% an annum, and really thirsting for the goods, services, and the quality of life that many of us in Stockholm enjoy. And these are the kind of demand upsurge in the next few decades that is going to throw us a challenge as to how we can meet these aspirations and expectations in a sustainable, in a prudent, and in a responsible manner, and of course at an efficient manner as well. I therefore find comfort in many of the Swedish companies who are in India, such as Volvo, who have been for decades our partners in progress, our partners in development, and who know the country very well. And therefore, I think it's a very apt topic and something that hopefully we will see a lot of thoughts being come about in the course of proceedings. We in India already are working very hard to develop solutions that are innate to India, that answers to our problems, and that supports sustainability, while at the same time seeking to meet the aspirations of the Indians. I think that includes here, and especially Mr. Gadkari has been very pioneer in many of the initiatives that Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has taken, among other ministries as well, but in particular his ministry, in terms of promoting green mobility, ethanol blending and all that, renewable integration, and sustainable road construction being some of the initiatives. Friend, before I say anything, it is also important to know that India is a very vibrant democracy. And there are elections always around the corner. There's another state election that is going to come up shortly. And there is always this ferment of political activity going on in India. To create that kind of buy-in among Indian people by Indian politicians is always a very challenging task. And therefore, the reform steps that Minister Gadkari ji has taken under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, of course, therefore deserves a greater appreciation. And I think, Mr. Bali, you will probably understand very well the internal dynamics of India. So there we are. The second point I want to make is that Innovation Day is a very pertinent event, simply because innovation is at the heart of the very development that has taken place in Sweden. And I think over the years, Swedish has developed itself as a leader in innovation. It's number 2 in the world, but I think there's hardly any difference between number 1 and number 2, so we'll presume it's number 1. But certainly, the consistency with which it has been number 1 and number 2 deserves an appreciation of its own. And in the 3 months that I have been, and I've traveled a little bit, not so much, because despite the fact that there is a very nice summer, every Swedish disappears from Stockholm. So I was left alone to appreciate the beauty of Stockholm. But now that the busy season has started, probably I'll have more time to interact with all of you and with the great institutions you have. But whatever little I could do, it has left a very deep impact on me. The way the academia, the government, and the private sector works together, intertwined in pursuit of a common objective, which is what is called triple helix, I think is just something very commendable. And for us, in today's world, innovation, of course, has suddenly become one of the most important objective of development in any country. And I think the way the technologies are evolving, there has never been a time where innovation has not been of greater importance. And I think Indian government is also making similar effort at making innovation the heart, the center, heart, and the front of our developmental metrics. And so I think you would see that. And that was not just now. From 2014, I think PM Modi had preempted this issue, that this is going to happen. And therefore, I think there have been multiple missions. I think Prime Minister Modi himself has been very keen on seeing that India moves along on the innovation highway. And this has been reflected in the ranking, improvement in ranking that, that we are seeing. I won't, after telling you that Sweden is number 2, I'm not going to say what is our rank, but it's certainly improving. That much I can say. But it's not also easy, of course, because we have this legacy of socialist economy. And I think to jumpstart from that and to move towards the path that Sweden has already taken is somewhat difficult one. And this is where I think we should look at Sweden as an example. Not just because Sweden is a pathbreaker, but also because India and Sweden enjoys a very long history. I think India's history is spanning decades. And there are not many countries where I know where people know India so well. I mean, many of the companies such as Volvo itself, but there are many other, IKEA and all that, they have been there for decades. They know Indians very well. Half of them, they actually behave like Indians, right? Right, you included, right? So, so it's very easy, and I think it's very. Therefore, it is a very natural partnership, and it is also a very complementary partnership. I mean, on one hand, you have Sweden with innovation at its heart, with bouquet of technologies, with innovative thinking, with hard processes. And on the other hand, you have India, where you have the skill, and you have a huge talent pool. And you have also, now that there is a wherewithal also, and the desire to move along on this. So I think it is a very natural complementarities between the two countries. And this is something we need to take advantage of. There are a lot of Indian companies that are also here. There are 80 of them, if I'm not mistaken. There could be a little more. But I think overall, what I see is there is a lot of upside on our partnership. At the same time, Government of India itself has been working very hard on giving an impetus to the innovation both within the governance, but also in the private sector. For example, recently, Prime Minister Modi set up Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which is chaired by Prime Minister itself. So it's a Hindi word, but in English it would be National Research and Innovation Foundation. And under this Prime Minister's own chair, we have set up a fund called RDI Fund, which is a Research Development and Innovation Fund. And a corpus of about $12 billion has been set up to promote innovation, especially in deep technologies. Sorry? Time? Is it over? You promised me 9 minutes, right? And I have just started. Okay. I've got 4 more sheets to go, right?
Okay. Please go on.
And I have a diplomatic immunity, right? You know that. I've just warmed up. Okay. So anyhow, the point is that there is a fund which is about a $12 billion fund, and I think that the objective is to scale up R&D, innovation in strategic and emerging sectors, aligning with the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. In India, that is Atmanirbhar, which is self-reliant, globally competitive, and deeply invested in deep tech areas with strong private sector participation. I think some of the areas that we both need to work are clean energy, AI, smart cities, digital health, sustainable mobility, advanced materials, and the circular economy. I think we can also focus on, and we have already working on, so I'll include areas such as IT services, pharmaceutical, and advanced manufacturing as well, which is advanced meaning smart manufacturing, new technologies, AI-enabled manufacturing. These are some of the areas that we could take advantage of Government of India's own initiative. Before I conclude, I have to just inform you that about the AI summit that is going to take place shortly in February. And I invite all of you to participate in that, to bring your friends along. This carries forward the process of global AI summits that have happened earlier in Korea and France, I think. And I really look forward to a huge delegation from South Sweden to make its presence felt in this AI summit. Before I end, Sanjoo, I can end now? Yes. Okay. So before I end, I have to tell you that that innovation, that I'm so glad to be at the Innovation Day. Not just because it's such a prestigious event, but also because I've got to introduce myself to all of you. When I got appointed as ambassador, usually government are not well known for putting right people in right job, right? But when I was posted as ambassador of India to Sweden, the first thing I realized was what a marvelous thing it was, because they found the right person for this job. As a chemical engineer, I started my career in Thermax, which was a chemical engineering company. And I started my career in Chinchwad, Pune, where all these beautiful Swedish companies were located. Alfa Laval and Volvo, and all those, I don't know, I don't remember, but there were so many Swedish companies that were located all over Pimpri-Chinchwad belt. And that gave me the first insight into how great the culture of manufacturing, of innovation, of experimentation, and especially for such a small country, to take the courage to go to India, to go to other parts of the world and conquer it. I think that is something that is very, very important. And as we march along on the path that has already been broken by Swedish, I think we should look at their example. And I think India Innovation Day provides one such occasion where we need to. Thank you, Sanjoo. Before you push me off the stage, I need to compliment. Thank you very much.
A big round of applause for Ambassador. Thank you, Ambassador, for that very uplifting speech. Now we would like to invite His Excellency Jan Thesleff, Ambassador of Sweden in India, to give his welcome remarks. He'll be joining us virtually. Thank you.
Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, experts and champions from the innovation, research, and business communities of both Sweden and India. It is and has always been a joy to be here at the India-Sweden Innovation Days, this year for its 12th edition. We have a great lineup of speakers and experts, and I'm particularly honored to welcome Her Excellency Sara Modig, the Swedish State Secretary to the Minister for Energy, Business and Industry, who will be inaugurating the leadership panel this morning. I thank my dear friend, my colleague, His Excellency, the Ambassador of India to Sweden, Anurag Bhushan, and the high-level Indian participants who are here today, as well as, of course, India Unlimited and partner organizations, bringing us together, not only to celebrate the success of collaboration, but to provide a platform to find inspiration and new answers to our shared challenges. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to ponder on this year's theme, co-creating a sustainable future, scaling innovation through partnership. Co-creating a sustainable future and scaling are at the very heart of the India-Sweden partnership. A partnership that is willing to take responsibility for a better today and to leave a more sustainable future for the generations to come, with fossil-free transport, air, sea and land, AI-supported healthcare, smart water solutions, and much more. A few weeks ago, here in Delhi, we announced that it is time for Sweden, echoing Sweden's commitment to be a reliable partner with India. Our partnership stands on a strong foundation of respect, trust, cooperation in science, in research, innovation, technology, and business, built over a century. And we need to scale this cooperation by aligning our innovation priorities. This year marks 20 years of Sweden-India science and technology partnership. And I take delight to share that Swedish research funding agencies such as Vinnova and the Swedish Energy Agency, in partnership with India's Department of Science and Technology, have launched programs this year inviting applications from research institutes and industries to bring the very best minds together to help decarbonize the steel and cement sectors. Projects co-funded by those two entities will be announced at COP30 in Brazil. The impact of Sweden-India partnership is not limited to their own interests and expertise, but acts as a global catalyst. LEADIT, the Leadership Group for Industry Transition, is a prime example of our combined efforts to scale up and align with global climate targets, bringing business, technology, and innovation together. The journey of an innovative idea to an entrepreneurial development, driving prosperity in both our countries, is evident with the presence of over 280 Swedish companies in India, actively contributing to the country's sustainability and economic development, creating more than 220,000 direct jobs. Indian investments in Sweden have surged by a stunning 190%, with over 70 Indian companies now active in our country. I once again thank you all and wish you a successful India-Sweden Innovation Day, inspiring progress as you deliberate on topics ranging from decarbonization, energy partnerships, AI, models of cooperation, and much more. Thank you very much.
Big round of applause. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you so much. I'd now like to welcome our guest of honor, Shri Nitin Gadkari, His Excellency, Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India, who's joining us from New Delhi. Over to you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, India and Sweden share one of the strongest partnerships. Our countries meet regularly at the highest levels, and this friendship is growing every year. India is rising fast on the global innovations map. In 2025, we are ranked first in Central and South Asia and 38th in the world. Sweden is already a global leader in innovation, and it is ranked second in the world. Together, we are natural partners in building a better future. The visit of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji to Sweden in 2018 and the visit of Their Majesty the King and the Queen of Sweden to India in 2019 gave strong direction to our partnership. These visits open doors for deeper trade, investment and innovation ties. Both our countries are committed to a greener planet. India has set a clear target of becoming net zero by 2070. We can work together on clean energy, climate-friendly technologies, and sustainable growth. Our partnership is also strong in research and innovation. The Swedish companies are investing in India and carrying our research here. For example, Volvo from Sweden has partnered with the Alchem laboratories in India for medical trials. We are also working together on green technologies through programs like LEAD IT 2.0, which has focus on low carbon industries, the renewable energy and smart transport. India today is a global hub for science and technology. India is also a great place for business, and we have a huge market, young and skilled workforce, supportive policies for foreign investment, and we are becoming the best alternative to global value chain. Our infrastructure is becoming greener and smarter. We are using recycled plastic, oil slag, jute, biobitumen, and other waste material to build roads that are cost effective, high quality and good for the environment. The joint innovation partnership between India and Sweden is creating new ideas and opportunities for startups, researchers and entrepreneurs. And finally, events like India-Sweden Innovation Day bring us together to share ideas, create solutions and strengthen our cooperation. Together, India and Sweden can build a future that is greener, smarter and better for our people and for the world. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much.